What's some advice on how to manage creating music that sells and is mainstream now versus creating music for my own enjoyment and passion?
That's a great question for somebody who makes a living doing this.
I honestly, I have kind of a different answer for that. My situation is that there's a huge rush toward everything sounding the same right now. As I call it, like over-conformity. And I think going forward, being a little different is important, actually, because I think if you're competing in the mainstream with a lot of records that are 120 beats a minute, 4 on the floor, kick drum, very little melodic content, pretty much a lot of that sounds alike, and the winners of those kinds of records are going to be the companies and the artists who have the most muscle, and it won't be a competition that's fair. Your only hope is to have something that's different. Mm-hmm. And I'm just a counter programmer by nature. So, there's two ways to approach it. Listen to the top 5 hit songs and essentially try to copy it without copyright infringement in terms of like the tone, the sense of it. That's one way to go, but I don't do that myself. I prefer, as a musician, to try to do something that's completely different from that, but that would still be able to compete with that. Now, how do you do that? That's the $64,000 question. That's what I try to do every day, is to create something that's commercial and different. Because something that's different, that still gets over, those are the things that set trends. That's when you change the music business. So I just want to say to the listener, be bold. You can go ahead and try to make music that sounds like exactly what's out there, but why would you?
The great artists, it seems to me, we're always either slightly ahead of, or we're certainly leading the parade. And when you're out a little bit ahead, it's probably a bit lonely. Yeah. But it's been my experience, having worked briefly on the inside of a record label, by the time you've calculated what's happening now, it's already changed. So you're constantly chasing the tail. And I subscribe to Mr. Ballard's take here. Be who you are and believe it. And that should be your guiding light, right? At the end of the day.
I think otherwise you're constantly you're trying to present something that isn't authentic. I think you'd be much more successful giving it your real juice and making that really good, And it's
and at the end of the day, doesn't it still, no matter whether it's funny, I watch EDM and I see the hip hop / pop world, right? And what's interesting for me, and I'm not an expert on EDM or hip hop, but the songs that have been the commercial successes wind up incorporating the same elements that you described earlier. A melody of some sort, a lyric that tugs at your heart or speaks to you in a way that feels genuine, right? And then they rap an EDM, background to it, Avicii,
Exactly.
And some of these songs, Calvin Harris, Blame It on the Night. Christ, I'm singing that song down the street, I'm going, blame it! And I'm going, why? Is that EDM or is that just a great song?
Exactly. Well, it starts with the DNA of a great song,